Hello, I'm so excited to share one of my very newest decks with you. It just arrived in the mail a couple days ago. This is Taylor Ellis's newest deck, Tarot of the Starbound Phantasia. If you are familiar with the Ellis Tarot, then this is the same artist who did that deck. And I did a walkthrough of the Ellis Tarot on this channel. Well, in terms of video uploads, that was a recent video. Like, there wasn't too many other decks in the, in the intervening, I haven't done a lot of decks between that deck and this one, but it has been quite a while in terms of time. Here is the box. It is a two-part box, and because you order these straight from the artist, he signs them for you, and it's really sweet. I participated in a pre-order, so I got this straight from the printer. Well, the printer sent it to the artist, and then the artist packaged and sent them to me. The box is really beautiful. Like, Mr. Ellis does vector art, and so everything is very highly detailed, very, very well done. My box was a little crunched in the little carton it was sent in, so that's what makes mine a little distinctive. The deck comes with some explanatory cards about the artist and about the layout artist as well, which is really cool. And a little more info about the deck. Some additional information about spreads. To help you get started reading. The deck also comes with a small folded reference sheet that you can use to get to know the deck just a little bit. It's got a glare. It has some astrological correspondences. Sorry, I don't want to crease my card too much. You can see the astrological table here and keywords for the cards and the suits, across the top there, and also some keywords and phrases for the major arcana. And if you would like more detailed explanations, there is a visual ebook guide that you can get on the artist's website. So let's take a look at the deck. I am so happy to have this, and I mean, having just flipped through it a little bit on my own, I feel like I can say I think I like this even more than the first Ellis deck. I really, really just feel this deck very strongly. The back is beautiful. Just so detailed. And I don't know if all of the fine lines and details are really conveyed through the camera, but this is just lovely. And silver gilding, which, I mean, I don't know if I have completely come around to the idea of gilt edges, but these are definitely one of the more higher quality versions of that feature. And I like it. It's kind of toothy and very pleasing to touch. I like it. So let's get to what we are here for. The majors, well, none of the cards have text name. They do have numbers, the majors do. So this is a little bit of a challenge if you enjoy having the titles on your card, or if you are still learning those titles or are comfortable with having those titles. But on the other hand, I think it is extremely obvious what the cards are. I think that there is little mistaking, like for instance, that this is the Emperor. So even if you are feeling not quite entirely confident with having memorized which major is which, I think it might be easier than you imagine it's going to be. I think this Lover's card is really interesting, and I quite like it. Like we've come to expect from Ellis's work, this deck is very bold, it's very colorful, there are very strong design choices made, but nothing is accidental. Everything has been very carefully thought out and chosen, and this deck in particular is described as a combination of Rider-Waite-Smith, Marseille, and Thoth decks. And as we go through, especially the pip cards, that combination of influences I think are going to be especially obvious. And that combination of influences is perhaps going to be maybe not challenging for some readers, but I think readers who have a strong founding in multiple deck systems are going to be the ones who get the very most out of this deck. For myself, I am very strongly grounded in the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and so this deck speaks to me very strongly on that level. However, I do have some education and introductory level exposure to Thelema, even though I haven't read with the Thoth deck really. So I definitely see that system and that influence here. And I'm familiar with the deck in the sense that I have had people read for me with that deck a number of times. So I see that those design elements here. So that exposure, that life experience is helping me a bit. But people who have much more education in those realms I think are going to get a whole lot more. But that said, I don't think that should put you off from getting this deck if anything you see here appeals to you, because it's really lovely. I really like this. I think it's well designed. I think it's well made. You know, the cardstock is good. I think it shuffles really nicely. We're going to do a shuffle here together in a bit. Here we go. We are into the minors. And as nice as the majors are, the minors, I think, are really something special here. And there's just a lot happening. Mr. Ellis has a Instagram account, and I've been following this deck's illustration for, I don't know, quite a while, and it's been a lot of fun to see the vector illustrations come together and just how much work really goes into creating a new tarot deck. There's really a lot here, and I think it's just really interesting. I don't read a lot with pip cards. I usually read with fully illustrated minors. And so I do find this a little bit challenging, but there is also, they're not just standard, oh, here's a field of, you know, wands or cups or whatever. There is an illustrated quality to these that brings out some of the meaning of the cards, some of their character. So it's not just, oh, here's a heap of wands or whatever. And so I think this is a very interesting balance that he's brought to the pip cards. They're not just any old pip cards. I'm sorry for the ambient noise here. It's a relatively cool morning, and so people are doing lawn work in my neighborhood. There are some very nice court cards in this deck. A couple of them have places that are swapped, so I'll try to clarify those when they come up. I should have put them in order. I did not. Isn't she amazing? Look at this Queen of Wands. Oh gosh, she's amazing. Love her. Love her, love her. And King of Wands. Stunning. Oh gosh. Fantastic card. Just, And then we have a palette swap to the cup suit. Gosh, I love his use of colors. Just, it's such a colorful deck, but never sloppy. Always so deliberate, so well chosen. Just, I love the water there. So beautiful. Isn't that fantastic? I love it, love it, love it. Oh, there we go. There's the 5. See the willows. So good. So good. There's the 6 again. The 7. See what I mean about that really interesting balance of influences? It's very well done, I think. Here's the 9. So I really think there's a lot to love about this deck. Just so well done. Gosh, I love it. 7-pointed star. Oh gosh, that's cool. Okay, let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, this is the Queen of Cups. And here is the Knight. And the Page. And the King. It's so beautiful. Wow. Sorry, I'm trying not to come into conflict with the ambient noise. I'm sure it's getting picked up. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The 7. And the 8. Wow. All right, here's the Queen of Swords. The Knight. The Page. And the King. And here we have arrived at Pentacles. And again, we have a palette swap, a theme shift, stuck? Nope, there we go. And this is the page. The Knight. Oh, my mistake. This is the Queen. I guess we should put them all in order because I haven't been doing that. Here is the page. Wide-eyed, curious, considering. Here is the Knight, active, in motion. Here is the Queen, regal, in control. And the King, of course. All right. So, let me get back to the beginning. I guess we don't have to go back to the beginning, but I want to. And then we will do a shuffle. So overall, I am very happy with this deck. I'm intrigued by it. I find a lot of very interesting reading potential coming from this deck. I think there is a lot of very interesting communication potential from this deck. The different themes of the different suits provide some interesting dimensions for, like, what realm is a message coming from? What type of entity is communicating? What time of year? What cycle of, celestial body? I don't know. I think that there's an awful lot that could be done with this deck. And I find that very, very interesting as a reader to bring to clients and to myself, honestly. I think this would be a really interesting deck to do a lot of personal work with, some detailed divination inquiries with. And that's just not something I find with, honestly, a lot of decks. And there are some really fascinating decks out there, but a lot of them, they get the job done, and some of them get the job done, quite well, but they're a little one note. It's like, hey, we're gonna, embody some animal vibes, and like, that's great, but what if I want something more out of a deck? And this is something that I can reach for when I want that something more. Oh, that's nice. That's what I want to feel. All right, this is nice. This is very nice. This is what I like. There we go. Yep. Smooth, but not slippery. They are standard tarot sized, so like just a slightly larger than is comfortable for my my individual hands, but you know, that's a case-by-case basis. Gosh, they're fun to shuffle. They feel really good. This would be a fun deck to read for magicians with, like occultists, you know, who are like, I need to track the progression of a spell or whatever. This would be a fun deck for people like that. Oh, this is fun to shuffle. This is really fun. Like, they're just thick enough, just bendy enough, just slippery enough, just toothy enough. Oh gosh. Yeah, this feels nice. Ooh, Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm barely awake this morning. Nine of Pentacles, a very fortunate card to have pulled with this deck So, thank you for coming along on this walkthrough with me. I hope you enjoyed it. This deck is available from illustrations.net, ELLISTRATIONS.net. Maybe you can see that there on the screen. You can also just Google or, you know, look up on your favorite search engine, Tarot of the Starbound Phantasia. Check it out if you are curious. I like this deck. Okay, thank you. I'll see you next time.